Salutations my demons, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are going to be talking about a flat earther. With that being said, it is already grossly apparent that we are dealing with one of the most intelligent humans on the planet. The video was uploaded by a channel called Vice. Some of you may know them, some of you might not, but after this you're not going to forget them. I just want to set out a warning. You will lose brain cells from this video. You will question people's sanity in this video, and you will want to die after watching this video. So after hearing all of that, if you still want to watch this video, then yeah, let's get into it.
Based on what they're showing us, it seems very fake. When we're being presented with things like the moon landing footage, and you've only got to look at it with a critical eye to see that it's done on a set. Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley, and I'm a flat earther. I run several YouTube channels, I interview people about the subject, and I've been doing it for about the last couple of years. In my last career, I was travelling around the world as an international sales rep.
I know that if the world is flat in this man's eyes, it's still round, but it's also kind of funny that he says he traveled around the flat earth instead of across it, but I digress.
And as I travelled around the world, what I observed on almost every flight was the same thing, which was lots of people staring at the back of their headrests and observing the latest movie, drinking booze, falling asleep, whereas I would actually be at the back of the plane looking out at the emergency exit window, which had the widest viewing angle, and observing the flat plane below. That being the case, when I came across a Math Powerland video on YouTube and he uttered the words flat earth, not in ridicule, but in the same context as we're talking about today, it immediately was a eureka moment. I mean, I literally went and woke my wife up and told her that the earth was flat.
That's gotta be one of the saddest things to wake up to in the morning or at night, whenever she got woken up. Like, imagine your husband or your wife waking you up. They're extremely excited about what they're gonna tell you. Honey, I think the earth is flat. I know the earth is flat. What are you gonna say? What do you do? What do you think? I bet the first words out of her mouth were, I want a divorce.
Well, NASA were developed for the sole purpose of lying to us. Their only purpose is to perpetuate the globe lie. Every single story that is told by NASA has the subcontext that we live on a globe.
NASA says we live on a globe because we live on a globe. The Earth was discovered to be a sphere in 3rd century BC, meaning that this man is living, somehow his brain is living before that. There are countless studies, there are literal images of the Earth being a sphere. I don't understand how anybody could still defend the Earth being flat. The only thing that they could say to quote-unquote prove the Earth is flat is that when you walk you don't fall off of it. Which obviously, to people with normal functioning brains, would say, oh, well that's because of gravity. But think of it this way though, if anybody's watching this video and you're a flat earther, please answer me this question. When you look through a telescope and you see a planet, for example Jupiter, the biggest planet in our solar system, you know, the one with the red dot, it looks round, right? If the Earth is flat and it's a planet, wouldn't all the other planets in our solar system be flat? And if Jupiter was flat, how come you'd be able to see it as a sphere? And don't say no stupid shit like, oh, Jupiter is flat, but it's not flat horizontally, it's flat vertically. So if that's the case, wouldn't Earth be flat vertically? Or wouldn't all the other planets be flat? It doesn't make sense that Earth is the only horizontally flat planet while the other ones are all spheres. It just blows my mind how people think about things like this and still for some reason don't believe that the Earth is not flat. Like a piece of paper, it's not.
The way they're faking things is with top of the line, absolutely cutting edge studio techniques like were used in the film Gravity. So they're using trapeze, they're on high wires in order to fake us for as long as humanly possible.
Since this guy is pretty insistent on us being lied to about the shape of the Earth, I just want to know his reasoning on why he thinks they're lying to us. You know what I mean? Like, what reason would they have to lie to us for years about the shape of the Earth? Like, what does that do? What does anybody gain from that? Like, ha! We tricked you. Get pranked, bro. The Earth is actually flat.
Well, that's a good comparison because the blockbuster movies bolster the NASA fakery. If you're watching Guardians of the Galaxy or Star Trek or Star Wars, the basis of that is that you are on a spinning globe. So the fact that Hollywood perpetuates this meme, this lie, this spinning globe lie, is the over-the-top suspension of disbelief. Whereas when NASA do it, they play their cards much more close to their chest. They always keep it nice and simple. So they're not going to be having Star Wars type battles in space. They're just going to have a zero-G meal. It's much more downplayed.
What the f is he even talking about? This man, this legend, seems to think that movies and films like Star Wars and Star Trek are feeding into the quote-unquote meme of the Earth being a spinning globe, even though there is a lot of evidence proving this. Almost anyone you can ask on the street randomly, like, hey, is the Earth round? Is it, you know, a globe? They're gonna say yes, and if they don't, well, then you know what kind of people you need to avoid.
The Illuminati. I don't know a great deal about the Illuminati. It's something that I've come across since finding out the Earth was flat or investigating flat Earth. It would seem that there are certainly families or bloodlines or secret societies that control certain aspects of our life. However, until 1972, we hadn't been up and checked. So to say that a secret society knew and was therefore perpetuating a deception, I would say no. No, I can't prove it. I can only support it with evidence.
Oh, what a surprise. The guy who thinks the Earth is flat can't prove that the Earth is flat. Obviously, I've said it multiple times throughout this video. There are pictures of the actual Earth, astronauts talking about their experiences and what Earth looked like from space, saying how it definitely was not flat. It's baffling that people will hear these things and still stick to their guns about how they think the Earth is a flat plane. And it's crazy. You know what I think this guy's evidence is? He hasn't given us any. You know what I think it is? He'll tell somebody, you know what? The Earth is flat and let me prove it to you. The other person is now interested, but confused. So they oblige. Okay, how can you teach me? How can you prove to me that the Earth is flat? See that road up ahead? You see how it goes straight? And how it doesn't curve downwards? It's because the Earth is flat. If it was round, it'd go straight down. You know what, man? You've converted me, I believe you now. I feel like that's how he believes a typical conversation with him will go.
So to say, do I need to prove it? I would say no, because the starting point is flat. That's what you observe, that's what I observe, and that's what everyone deals with in their day-to-day lives. I've heard every insult under the sun. And I think the reason we get these insults is because we are pre-programmed from birth to ridicule the idea of flat Earth. We're told that it's a notion of Philistines. It's something that we have progressed beyond.
I almost feel bad for this guy, you know, like he truly does believe that the Earth is flat and he gets insulted for it clearly. And as much as I agree with him being insulted because of how stupid his take is, I feel bad. You know, like it's almost like it's not his fault that he's this dumb, you know what I mean?
So I tend to not overreact to people who are insulting to me about the subject and try and ask them to either, if they're very combative, prove what they believe, which is the globe, or ask them to research flat Earth. Well, I've never been to the ends of the Earth, so it's a difficult one to give you an answer. Is the moon fake news? No. But does the moon have fake news surrounding it? Yes, absolutely. Of all of the celestial bodies, it's the one that would most indicate sphericity, is that the right word? Being spherical. And therefore it's used by people like NASA to prop up the notion that we are living on a sphere also. So it's used to perpetuate fake news.
Bro, what? You look up at night and you see the moon. You really think the moon is going to be round, but we aren't? Like the Earth isn't? Or what about telescopes? Or do those not exist? Do you look in them, see planets in our solar system and think, damn man, those gotta be fake. I think they're projections into the sky. Clearly, they would be flat if they were real planets, right? Like, I just don't get it. I'm getting so frustrated because this man's logic is truly hurting my brain.
Do I get ridiculed now? No, it doesn't seem to be the case. A couple of years on, it's more like this. People actually wanting to know more information about the subject and doing a bit of research themselves. So I think it seems things have progressed. I don't have an actual explanation for how the seasons work. I don't know what the sun is.
You don't know what the sun is. You don't know if the sun's a star. You know, one of billions that are in the sky. Stars that we can literally see at night without NASA telling us. Without telescopes. It's just... Why? Why is this guy so dumb? Does he think the sun is fake? Like, oh my god.
The same technically goes for the moon. I don't know what the moon is. And further to that, I don't trust any of the maps that they give us. Absolutely, it is fundamental to our state of being. It is fundamental to our existence. If we said they are right, the perpetrators of the lie, if you like, are correct, then we are absolutely and totally insignificant. We are a speck of dust in a soup of nothing, expanding into a massive infinite space of nothingness. Whereas the converse is that we are in an enclosed system, therefore we're it.
After listening to everything this guy had to say, I feel like he just wants to be important, you know? Like, he was talking about how we'd be a speck of dust and how there's infinite numbers of planets, stars, and galaxies, which is true. That's pretty much something everyone knows. That's common knowledge. It's been proven. But he also... he has another option. He seems to think that we are on an enclosed, flat plane, and we are the only life in the universe, which... Come on, that's obviously not accurate. That doesn't make any sense. If we're in an infinite cycle, how would we be the only life and we'd be the only flat planet? I just don't understand. But I understand why he believed this, because he doesn't trust anything that anybody tells him. If he doesn't see it, he doesn't believe it at all. He's the complete opposite of seeing is believing. Because no matter what anybody tells him, no matter how many pictures, how many videos, or anything this guy watches, he's not going to believe any of it. If he can't see it, he's like, that's fake. It's not true. The sun? You tell me that's a star? That big ass bright thing in the sky? Nah, that's projection. You know, it's probably not even real. It's just a figment of our imagination. This guy doesn't believe anything except that the earth is flat. And I'm done with it, man. That's the end of the video. I'm not even going to talk about this anymore. Have a good day. Goodbye.